Well, hey, it's been a while. I've been meaning to make this video on playtesting because we've been doing a lot of playtesting here at Pixelor. By the way, if you want to be a part of the playtesting program and if you want to check out our games, play our games, give us feedback, feel free to drop us a comment to show your interest or join our Discord community. We will link that somewhere in the comments or in the caption of this post. Anyways, we've been learning a lot regarding playtesting. The highlight of the learning, at least for me, was a talk that I came across at GDC. It's on YouTube. I'll link it in the comments or in the caption of this video. It was basically a talk on avoiding evil data when playtesting by Ariane Dion. I probably butchered that name, but he goes by Adrian. What is evil data? Let's talk about that. So evil data is essentially anything and everything that is distracting, unclear, or misleading in terms of the responses you get when playtesting your game. So essentially, the playtesting stage of any game is what makes or breaks a game, right? It's basically what helps you understand if your game is going to be something that people enjoy playing or something that genuinely frustrates them. And as game designers, when we're playtesting our games, we really need to be aware of what what kind of emotions our playtesters are going through to help us understand what needs to be improved and what doesn't. There is one quick clarification I want to give before we start on to the main parts of the video. Playtesting is not the same as QA. In QA, you focus on like fixing technical elements of your game. Playtesting is really there to help you understand, the viability or the enjoyability of your game mechanics or your game core loop. So that's something that I want to clarify. Adrian basically talks about 8 things that you need to focus on when you're playtesting. These are, in my opinion, extremely crucial points that playtesters or game designers need to dial in and just really focus on when they're playtesting. So the first point is the physical location where you're actually conducting your playtest. Where are you placing your playtesters on? What kind of setting are they, surrounded by? What kind of environment is it? Are you breathing down your playtester's neck? All of these factors actually play a huge role on what kind of data you're getting. So the second point that you need to keep in mind of is how you introduce the game. This is something that Adrian has also emphasized and we've also experienced when we're playtesting as well, is to try your best to give the least amount of introduction to your game before a playtest starts, just so that the playtester comes into the game with a completely clean slate so that you have an understanding of what they experience right off the bat without any assistance. The third aspect is focusing on design problems that come across when playtesting. We as game developers and game designers are working on a game for hours on end. There may be some design element that you sort of neglect while making the game, and those sort of become more obvious when somebody else playtests the game. So it's really good to keep in mind of those. Coming at number 4 is focusing on the people that are playtesting your games. Different people look at your game in a completely different way. So it's really good that you sort of come out of, when you're playtesting, it's really good that you come out of your usual circle of influence and actually reach out to more diverse groups and get their opinion on your game, because every people perceives the game in a completely different way. So it's just best to get feedback from all circles. Number 5, you need to focus on what the testers are saying. Adrian basically says that written data is often extremely misleading because contrast in emotion when it comes to data that is written down or data that you actually observe or hear somebody speaking is very different. And I kind of agree with him on the fact that spoken data or spoken emotions are somewhat much more genuine than written. So it's just better to make a playtesting setting, creating a playtesting environment that allows you to actually hear or see or listen to what playtesters are saying when they're playing the game. That's a really important point. So number 6 is very closely linked to point number 5. It's essentially focusing on online or on-ground playtesting methods. Essentially, if you cannot have your playtesters in a physical environment, it's probably a good idea to probably have them in a virtual call when they're playtesting your game, so that you essentially get as much, on-ground immediate feedback on your game. So point number 7 is about uh, the game build itself. Adrian really emphasizes on the point that when you get playtesting feedback, it's actually a good idea to incorporate that feedback immediately within a build, just so that you go through all the feedback, all improvements as quickly as you possibly can before, without missing out on anything. I think that's a pretty solid suggestion, and it's definitely worth incorporating if it is possible for you or for your game. And coming in at number 8, which is, in my opinion, the most important point that he suggested in his talk, was testing early. It's a good idea to test your game from version 0.1 to version 1.0 rather than starting to test at version 1, because the earlier you test, the quicker you'll be able to find out if your game is something that people will actually enjoy playing, or if it's something that you need to pivot onto. So I think point number 8 sort of hits home the value of playtesting and how and why it should be done early. So yeah, playtest your game as often as possible, as early as possible. So those are 8 crucial points to keep in mind of when playtesting your game by Adrian. I think this was a really insightful talk, and I think everybody should watch this before they start playtesting the game. I'll link it in the captions, in the comments, somewhere in the description of the video. So be sure to check that out. Again, if you guys want to be a part of Pixelore's playtesting program, feel free to drop us a comment, drop me a message. You be sure to check out our Discord channel, and yeah, be on the lookout for more updates. Take care, everybody.